These pictures are from your photo album?
Yes. From Montana, and maybe some from Denmark. I was cultivating beets there. I had to do that in the summertime. There was beets that we would feed to the cattle in the wintertime when they couldn't come out on the pastures.
Uh-huh.
And my dad is laying over there on the left side taking a nap.
The youngsters could do the work.
And that is an Oldenburg horse, by the way, the same breed that Gene has now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like one of those.
And it has, its tail has been cut off short. It's about no more than 8 inches long. Oh, that is. I don't know if he's looking at me.
Spear.
You could see Granddad there with his hat over his, shading his head.
Evidently he's not asleep. He's holding the hat there. He must be laid there daydreaming up.
Yeah.
Wishing he was back in America again. I know he did. He would like to be back here. Oh, you separated. Look at my watch chain.
Yeah, we're going to get a closer look at you. How old are you here?
No, I was probably 14 or 15, maybe 15.
You don't look 15 there.
Yeah, he does.
I was barefooted also, I believe.
Yeah.
Summertime.
Just a Danish farm boy.
This one's hard to see.
Yeah, this was some friends. After I left home, I moved over to Ivy. I was working on a farm over there. And these two men here were, this one on the left side was my friend, the other one was his brother, and the one on the right was a hired hand on this big farm. Yeah. And he later left that farm here, and he bought a car and he used it as a taxi. This one on the left, his name was Sequat. Here I had 3 heifers at the fair in Nørreby. That was the next small town from north from Ejby, where I worked in a farm. And I spent a day at the fair showing the heifers. I don't remember what price we took, but we got some sort of price. They were the red Danish milk cow that breed pretty much developed in Denmark, I believe.
So is this before or after you came to America?
Oh yes, that was a year. That was a year before. There was 2 years before, I believe.
You were 18.
Yeah, it was 2 years before I came. I was on that farm 1 year. I came over there when I was 17, so I worked there in the 17th year, and then in my 18th year I worked as a caretaker of the livestock. Before the first year I was there, I worked as a regular farmhand. I worked in the fields and did the plowing and whatever was to be done in the farm. But the second year I worked only to take care of the livestock, the cattle, and mainly the cattle. I had to milk them 3 times a day.
The steers?
No, the milk cows. We had no steers.
We
had no beef cattle.
I saw one.
Here you look like a secret agent.
That's a train station in Copenhagen, I believe. København.
There's your train schedule there in the pocket.
I was probably on my way home again from my visit with Ellen and Tom. And at that particular time, I had some boils in my head. I actually had 3 boils on my head. When the head was riding on me, it was real painful. And I had a big boil here on my left arm, and we went out to a park where they had some big swings, and I was really swinging high.
And it broke.
Pulling, and one of my left arm broke.
Open, see, I mean, and the core of the boil
they were painful.
Came out.
They were big boils.
You have to get rid of that in there. I have scars from that too.
Wonder what caused the boils.
I don't know. After I came to this country too, the first year I worked on the shawl ranch, I had so many boils, but they were mainly down on my neck, under the collar really. That's from Denmark. That's my grandfather with the long pipe, and my sister Ellen, his name was Jens Christensen, and his wife, who was his second wife, my mother had died, and he had married this woman. Her name was Caroline, really. And they had 2 children, Katrine and Hans. He died from tuberculosis as a young man. Mm-hmm.
Katrine's still living?
Yeah.
Look at Ellen.
That's Ellen. Ellen now is, what is she, 94?
Mm-hmm.
She's 94 years old and lives in up in a retirement home near
Willowick, Ohio.
Cleveland. It's near Cleveland, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Willowick.
Yeah, near Cleveland, yes.
Who's this? Who does he look like? The older gentleman.
I can't say who I don't really know.
But he's our great grandfather, isn't he?
He's your great grandfather. Yeah, he's my mother's father.
Anne and Bob and
got Petersen.
Jean, they had his skin coloring probably.
And then got Steve's shape of his head.
And my brother Harry, he lived with them as a child from the time he was about. Well, he went to grade school. From they had a small farm, about 7 or 8 acres with 1 horse and 3 or 4 cows. And Harry, he lived with them all the time while he went to grade school. And I lived with my stepmother. And my dad was over in this country, in America, he was over here twice at that time during the First World War. Mm-hmm. And my mother's half-sister now owns that home where this picture was taken. Katrina, that's my mother's half-sister. That was my grandfather's home. That's where the pictures were taken.
I was saying, you say the First World War, that's between 1917 and 1921.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's still the same house, yeah.
Some roses out there? Maybe not.
Looks like it.
Somebody's bicycle.
And you have visited that house, Paul.
That's right.
I have several times.
It's right at a corner, isn't it? It's an intersection.
Well, not quite. Almost. A little bit. It's just a small country road. Mainly farms, all farms around there. Mm-hmm. That's still the same picture.
And then there's a building behind here, like a stable or garage?
No, that doesn't belong to her. That's from another neighbor farm. That's the neighbor's farm. Actually, the entrance is up here on the
right side.
Yeah, up in the right side.
How old were you? From when to when did you live in this house?
I never lived in this house.
My
grandfather. No, my grandfather had a small farm. This was his retirement home here. Oh. After he sold the farm, he bought that one.
So you never lived there?
No, I never lived in this.
Just visited there.
And Dad was taken in Denmark before I came to this country. I was probably 18 or 19 maybe. Maybe 19. I don't remember just when it was taken.
Harry had his picture done at the same time, didn't he?
No. We never had it. We didn't really live together. We hardly ever lived together during our childhood. He was with my grandfather. And
so he could do the work, see?
Yeah. And
with the animal, the horse.
And when he left there, he got a job on a different farm.
That's Harry.
Yeah. No, I never lived.
Look how round his cheeks are.
We did live together on Korsgaard for one winter, I guess.
But don't you think he looks like your mother?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah. He worked so hard all his life.
You know, God rest his soul, he surely did.
Yeah,
How much older is he than you?
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he had a much harder life than I ever had. I was lucky that I came to this country. It has been much easier for me, even though I had to work hard in my different jobs. I didn't have much time to play around anywhere, really.
Yeah, but you had good food and good place to live.
I worked for $1 a day on the ranch in the Big Hole, $1 a day and room and board. This is taken in Copenhagen. That's my sister Ellen and
Thomas?
No, that's not Thomas. That's Lawrence. Thomas is brother Lawrence. And Thomas took the picture. I don't know who the other man is. That's one of their friends. But it's taken in Copenhagen. But that is Lawrence. Thomas is brother Lawrence.
He's dead now, too.
It's a fancy meal they're having there. Got their little
They go in
frame.
style. The works.
She's really dressed
Coffee.
up there.
There's the coffee. See, it must have been Sunday.
They had the cups along China.
Right.
Well, you know, when you think about the Piats, they used to take a picnic lunch along in the back and their drinks, a little card table, and set up alongside the road and have
Well,
lunch.
I remember that when we were in Europe, we drove down through Germany.
Same
people
thing.
set up picnic
See, just
table.
like that.
A picnic table up along the highway, along the forest. They'd sit there and have their lunch. We saw
Cutest
several
thing.
of
Well,
them.
that's right. See, it's roadside
That's
there.
Eva and Thomas and that's Ellen, Thomas and Eva. And Tom and Ellen, Tom and Eva are both dead now. They're having a little beer.
drink.
It's like Carlsberg.
Yeah.
And, you
Well,
know,
Carlsberg for the guys, and it looks like a different kind of maybe
probably
apple drink.
appleseed saft or something.
Sodavan.
Didn't they call it appleseed saft?
Nej, det var altid sodavan.
Oh.
Soda water.
Doesn't he look like Kirk Douglas?
I don't know.
Well, you know, so debonair.
He's got that
You know.
cleft in his chin.
Yeah.
Now, Eva,
What's my?
who is Eva?
She is my stepsister. She has one son, Arne, who has visited here in California a couple of times.
Well, Eva visited here too.
Yeah, Eva visited here also. Harry visited here, and Ellen, and my brother Helga is coming now, the 30th of May this year,
That's good.
1976.
1996.
1996, yes. You'll have to erase that one, Paul.
Oh no,
He's
wants
coming
to
on
do
May
that.
30th?
Yeah.
How long will he be here?
2 days.
Oh, listen, I'll be gone.
They're driving on to. He's coming with a friend, and they're renting a car, and they want to explore Arizona.
When do you come back?
It's first or second.
Oh, maybe you'll get to see Peter and Carol.
I will.
Hope so.
That's taken in Copenhagen. That's Ellen and Tom in the first
Notice a
apartment.
cigar.
In the first apartment, Tom had a cigar in his mouth practically his whole lifetime.
But he never had cancer. Well, he did
But
have cancer, but it
he
wasn't in
did.
his throat or lungs.
It wasn't lit half the time. It would go out and he would just leave it sit there. He would smoke maybe 4 cigars a day.
You can almost see the date on the newspaper here.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Not quite.
The magnifying glass. It was probably 29 or 30.
That's Ellen.
You can see how this one was scribbled on too.
Yeah.
This is in Copenhagen?
Yeah. I think it is. Because that's where she worked at that time. That's at a fair in Odense. On Fyn. Yeah.
International Harvester sign is up there.
Yeah.
Is it?
I didn't, it was a picture that my brother sent, I believe. I didn't go to, I never attended the fair there, but that was taken after I left home. Yeah.
You didn't ask me to do this picture. I just did this picture because I thought it was interesting. It showed such an era. Look at the way that people are dressed. And
Yeah, their clothing.
They had their coats along.
And it's not that much different from today. You see the litter on the ground. And the men are portly, though, aren't they? And they have walking sticks,
They're all
overcoats.
Everybody
all
was great
farmers.
for walking sticks.
Most of those people you see there are farmers, you know. There's interest in livestock. And
There's a
She has her
cigarette.
umbrella. There.
Hi, Jane.
Hi! We're here.
Can we take a break?
Who's here? Oh my goodness.
Hi.
Hi.
fine.
How are you?
Well, we're having a little movie here.
How are you doing? Hi.
Good to see you.
Good. Oh, you let them into my dirty house.
Oh.
You know,
We didn't see it. There
we,
is.
we
I'm
checked.
embarrassed.
We checked
Why
all the
should you?
corners.
Oh,
Why should you, darling?
There's more of Ellen and Tom and Edith and Mogens. That's Mogens there.
This little boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's in Jeanette, Pennsylvania.
Who's the woman next to Mom's?
That's his mother,
Edith.
Edith. That's Didlo's wife.
Dilo is Tom's cousin.
He's the one who makes the clocks.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
She must have died younger.
A long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah, she died a long time ago. They had 2 children, a girl and a boy. Sina Marie and Mogens. How do you know? Oh, that's from Denmark. That's my gym class in Denmark. I went for several years to that class. That's me sitting up in
There.
number 2 from
Handsome.
the right.
One with all the hair.
So good looking.
I had hair at one time.
There's one guy who's got crayon on his head.
Looks like it.
There's Richard Jespersen.
Yeah.
He died here last
We
year.
saw him in 77, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Do
his
you
wife.
recognize any of these men?
Yeah.
She's,
that's
his wife sent a-
Ingvald Hansen, that was a leader. He was a baker in the town of Ejby. And I forget something. His name was Harold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember some there. Well, there's some of them. Yeah, is that Sven Johansen, I think? I don't remember the names now anymore. Yeah.
Some of the faces you
That's
recognize.
Olga. No, that's Sven. And once more over here, I think.
Pretty legs.
Skinny legs.
Well, they didn't go around in short pants too often, did they?
No, that was in the evening. We had our gym classes in the school gymnasium.
Is that the school that we saw on
No, this was in Ejby where I used to work.
On Fyn.
Phew.
Yeah. That's in front of my home in Denmark, in Gribsvær, Fyn. On Fyn, and that is my dad to the right.
Helga.
Yeah, that's Helga there. And then it's my cousin. That's my cousin that died. What was his name? Alfred Myers. Yeah, it's
Alfred.
Myers. No, it's Myers. That's the youngest. And that's his mother, Aunt Trina, and her husband, Uncle Hans. He was my dad's brother. They had 3 boys, and they're all dead now. All 3 of them. There was Palmer, and Alfred, and Marius.
When we went there in '87, we met Alfred
Yeah.
and Palmer.
Right.
Palmer's had a house that said Minnesota on the front.
Minnesota's memory as well. What
Yeah,
that means.
Mindre.
Minder. That means memory.
So this is their father.
Yeah.
Marius, I don't think
That was the youngest. We didn't see it.
we
He
didn't
was
see
a
him.
carpenter.
Yeah, he was a carpenter. He lived right close to Dunkirk Road.
I think the boys took after their mother because they were all kind of on the short side.
Yeah.
Yes, he was
Alfred,
such a little.
Alfred
little-
lived right next to
He raised.
Alice and Praven.
When we visited him last time, he was raising pigeons in a chicken house.
And your father looks pretty dapper there. Did he always have a mustache?
Yeah,
I think he did.
pretty much.
Whenever
yeah.
I saw him, he's had a mustache.
He had all his teeth gold plated at one time. He came home
Over
from
here, can you imagine
Yeah, from
that?
this guy. He came home. Every tooth was gold plated.
The whole tooth,
Whole
from the
mouth,
gum down.
The whole
Yeah.
mouth, yeah. They
Must have
thought-
spent an awful lot of money on that,
They
didn't he?
thought that he must be a millionaire to have all that gold in his mouth.
Well, the streets in this country are paved with it, right?
But
At
he
least
had
they
it.
thought so.
He had it all removed. I don't know where. I don't remember when that happened, but
Maybe he needed some money.
Maybe it was after you left.
maybe
huh?
maybe the gold got a high price and he sold it. Well,
My dad had a couple of gold teeth in front, too. A horse kicked them out for him.
this is my stepmother, Anne, and her daughter, Eva. She was about 3 years older than me. She just died in 95, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
She died in 95. My sister Eva did, yeah. And my stepmother, I don't remember just what year she died. She died several years after I had left home.
No, she died much later than that.
Yeah, I know that, but she was
I think in about 1950.
somewhere in the 50s. We're not sure just what year she died.
She has a little bit of family resemblance, but she's not part of the family.
No.
No, it just
stepmother.
has that eye structure. They
Yes,
look like they're in the woods.
That's taken in the forest by Gribsvær, where we lived at the time. And the forest there belongs to a big farm, or what you call it, Herregård. There was a castle on that farm, on that big landowner also. I don't know when that was taken.
Well, what year did you move to? You were 12.
Well, I have gotten these pictures later. See, I don't know who took the picture. Or
But this was shortly after you moved there. You were 12 when you moved there.
I don't know if she was still, I don't know if she was living at home or if she was already married.
Oh, I see.
Is she the sister of Hilga?
No,
Half-sister.
No, half-sister.
Half-sister of Hilga.
You see, Hilga has a different father.
My stepmother had just Eva.
And then her husband was lost
Her
at
husband
sea.
was lost at sea.
Yeah.
Then she married my father, and they had 2 children, Helge and Ethel.
But did I meet her in Denmark?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
She came to visit us. That's Arne's mother. She came over to this
Oh, now
Helped you fold
now I
papers.
recognize her. We had lunch at her house,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
She's
Right by
always
the
happy.
very nice lady. She has a
Yeah.
nice big backyard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she lives near the
Yeah.
couple castles that are right there
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
on
Fyn.
Fyn.
You know, and she rode bicycle over here and helped the kids with the papers.
you played cards with her.
Yeah.
And that's in the same forest, and that's my half-sister Ethel, and on the left is my half-brother Helge.
Really?
Yeah.
Here's Hilga.
Yeah.
Still has the same look about him.
Was there another
does,
child
really.
in front? Was there
Yeah,
another
there's-
child in front? That's my stepmother.
Yeah, there's another one. There's
Just the
Ethel.
three of them, yeah. Ethel, well, that's Arne there.
That's Arna.
Yeah. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, that's Arne.
I didn't realize that.
He's so funny.
Mm.
This is picture number 31.
You
with
must
a-
call him when
Arna
you get
looks
home.
like he's about 2 years old.
Tell him you
Yeah.
and that's-
We stayed with Arna when we went to Copenhagen in
Yeah.
'87, I guess it was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I wonder how he's doing.
And the wood they stand behind is cut in the forest that belongs to the slut. What the castle they call that is slut, and they SLOT. And the
Slot.
wood there is sold to
That's
the public in auction every fall. They'll have an auction day, and they'll find many of these wood piles throughout the forest, and they follow them around, and the different neighbors can buy the wood.
Do they use the wood for firewood, or is it for hardwood,
No, it's
making
just for
things?
firewood. There is no dead wood in those forests. It's kept clean, and you don't see any dead wood there really.
Here's some swimmers.
Yeah, this was at a
I saw you.
gymnastics.
Whoa, that's too big.
It was at a gymnastic meeting in bowling scope.
It's like you got some hair in your eyes there.
I had plenty of hair in those days.
Yes, well,
So, how old are you here? You think? Is this before you came to Denmark? Came to the United States?
No, I'm probably about 17 or 18 then.
Okay.
Maybe 18.
Where is the location?
It's on the north. Let's see, it would be on
northwest of
on the island of Fyn.
Okay. Cold water?
No, it's nice in the summertime. It gets warm in the summertime, quite pleasant
Mm-hmm.
to swim in. Yeah, and there's a friend of mine. Well, that's on the farm where I worked, and the girl, her name was Ketty. Ketty, I think it was Ketty, and the other one was the woman who owned the farm was a widow, and this man was. I took care of the livestock there again, and he was the one that did the field work. He was really the main
She was a
hand.
milkmaid, was she?
Yeah. She was quite a lively girl.
He has a shock of
I
hair.
think she was related to the woman that owned the farm. I think it was her sister's daughter, really. I took that picture. There's a milk wagon.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, the green
We
milk
used that.
can.
We used that. I used that on the other farm.
How do you-
But I used it there also.
How do you clean out those big milk cans? How do you get them
Well,
clean in there?
The hole is this big. You get
So you get your arm in there and you can
Yeah,
scrub them
scrub
clean.
brush,
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
And they had to be cleaned every day.
Yeah.
Naturally.
They would be sent to the creamery, and then when they came back from the creamery, they would come back with the skim milk, which we would use for the pigs and small calves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we always got skim milk back from the creamery. This was some girls that belonged to. We had a girls' team and a men's team in that gymnastic club, and this was at the meeting in Boring Skoda in the summertime. I forget the name. I think this one was the woman that was married to the baker that we visited. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember the names from these other girls at all anymore.
This is their outfits, the gymnastics outfits?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some of them wore headbands.
Mm-hmm.
These flags, these are flags behind them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Quite a few people there in the background.
Oh, there were many people, and then there was dance there in the evening. That is our home on the farm in Gripsvat.
Elegant.
Yeah, it was a nice home.
Got flowers in the window there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was so nice.
I like the way they did the fancy brickwork on the outside there.
I think my dad,
Look at that
he
brickwork.
painted a lot of that white trim on there. It wasn't there when he first bought the farm. I think my dad painted it. I remember
He
him.
wanted to accentuate it.
Yeah, maybe,
Oh, I mean this stuff around the bricks.
Yeah, maybe this up here. There might have been some of that else, but I think he did.
He just put paint on the bricks.
And the roof on that house is what they call blue slate.
Yeah.
It lays there for it's stuff that material that they mine in Germany.
Lasts forever.
The Odenses. The sign to Odense up there in the left corner.
Oh, there?
Yeah.
Looks like ENN.
This was our daily living room on this side. This was the main entrance. There was a basement under the whole house, and the next, moving over a little bit, this window and one more, I believe it was. No, this window was the man's room, and they had parties, and this window on the right side was the ladies' room.
So
No, this is the man's room. These two are the men's.
Right.
But heavy furniture, and this one was the ladies' room with a more dainty furniture.
And flowers.
Yeah, upstairs was the main bedroom. And there was another room upstairs right above there where I used to sleep. Yeah, he was a horse trader, the man my dad bought the farm from. And, he dealt in horses mainly. And I think that is, I don't know who's sitting there really.
I think there's another picture that we have of you that shows you standing on this doorstep.
Yeah, right, leaning up here.
You're leaning against this
Yeah.
rail here.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how tall these doors are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Real tall.
Yeah, that was the main entrance.
Thank you, Dad.
So this is on Odensen?
Yeah, well, that's
In Fune.
and the main highway through the island went right in front of that house.
Did we visit this place when we were there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, we walked around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We walked around behind and there was a barn back there.
Big
Yeah.
barn. That was all new when my dad bought the place.
They wash the windows every week.
Barn had just been built.
So there was a lot of traffic going by here.
Oh yeah, that was, and then at this way there was another main highway between Assens and Bogens that went
North and
south, and this one went east and west. But in later years, they built a freeway which was more further away from home, so there isn't any traffic in front of the place anymore. Only just the few local people that live there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I remember stopping there and walking around the back,
Yeah.
and when we got the lady inside and her son to come out and talk to us.
Yeah, we talked to the lady through the kitchen window.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Billy and Mimi played in that little yard between the barn and the house.
Mm-hmm. That's in front of my home in Denmark. I was 17 at that time. That's the main entrance into the house from actually facing out to the highway.
He looks like Stephen then, or Stephen looks like him.
You're all dressed up there.
Well, I was dressed up when I came home. It was after I had left home. I came home on a visit.
Where were you living at this time?
I was working on a farm in Ivy. That was my first job. I went out and got that one Sunday afternoon. I started the 1st of May, and I was worked on that farm for 2 years. Then I got onto a different farm, and I wasn't there too long, from May until February, I believe. That was on the ship coming to this country in 1931, in February, February. It was a real bad trip. Terrible weather for many days. Ellen and Tom never came up for the meals for about 3 days. They were so seasick. And I didn't get seasick. Only one evening I was sitting there, I was almost alone in the dining room, and I was having my evening meal, and the waiter was watching me, and I guess he thought I was getting sick because he came with a napkin and held it right under my chin. But I didn't vomit. I don't know what made him think that I was going to. And they had little, they raised up some edges on the table so the dishes can't slide off because the ship was going like this. And when the ship got up on top of the wave, the propeller would come out of the water and speed up.
Mm-hmm.
And when that hit the water again, as the ship went forward, the ship.
Really?
Yeah, oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.